We just hammer it.
You're live on the podcast page.
And in the group because Harish can't read.
I just fucking. Oh wait. I refreshed.
I see it in the group.
Yeah, I see it in the group too.
Oh, it just popped up on my phone. Let's go.
Whoa, yo, I'm fucking live, bro. What it do, baby?
What it do, baby?
Everyone's like, I'm not tuning in this week. Harish is on. Click off.
Got him.
Happy Division Flip Week, bitches.
It was so last week.
It did post it twice.
That's my favorite post you ever made, Harish.
I'm so fucking close.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
So in the playoffs, aren't we?
That's right, hosting. Oh wait, not hosting.
Obviously not, because Michael Tessmer posted Miles Jack was down the other day, so obviously we're not in the past. Okay.
Yeah. Attention.
Attention.
If you know Tessmer, you know he's gonna piss some people off. It just happened to be Jags fans that day.
Because we were playing them. Jealous.
Jealous.
Shared in AFC South Fan Battle 2.0. Hi guys, welcome.
You are ready. You're about to experience Sound 2.0.
That's right. have they improved from 10 members?
Shots fired.
Well, that's what they had. They had like 10 people.
No, that was a different one.
Oh.
I got to 1,000. You're like 1.2. This Texas team is so much fun to watch.
The basketball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to the live screen so they could see us. Give me a second.
What?
Who are they playing?
Hello,
Iowa State.
everybody.
They slapped Kansas
Is that who they beat last week?
by 25, yeah.
Oh, man. U of H lost the other day, too.
Yes, sir. That's why we're in the top 5. Thank you.
They're always handing out freebies.
Oh, man. No, but this is legit Shaka's best team. This team is fucking good.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's just they play defense hard, they drive to the basket.
They just confirmed it. Nick Casario is the new Texas GM.
No way. Where did you see that come?
They confirmed it, huh?
Drafty.
Yep.
Breaking news.
This never ends for me.
Yep. Houston is now
who are you to talk?
officially
I'm a
hired.
Jaguars fan. How do you think I feel?
Y'all at least got picks and money and future. We don't have nothing. We have
Picks
zilch.
and money and things to look forward to.
You have
not
Deshaun Watson
even-
and J.J. Watt. That's
We're
it.
not even living off of our past. We're living off of New England's past. This sucks. It's confirmed for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's like, are you sure? Are you sure it's confirmed?
He's like, tell me something different, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the AFC South Fan Battle podcast, where we're going to watch Chris Royal cry for 30 minutes.
No, you're not, because I got my glasses on.
That's right. He's
That's right.
had
That's
those
what we
tears.
were wearing.
I had those two.
I make losing look good.
There we go. I'm
Losing
ready.
look good.
I'm ready, guys.
All right.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Put them glasses. Those rose-colored glasses.
Y'all ready to get this party started?
Let's party.
I thought it already did. We're just.
I know. I thought we were
live.
just bullshitting for a while.
I need to record. Hold on. Sam, do I have recording capabilities?
I can give them to you.
Well, hurry up.
Hold on. 1 minute. If you guys are tuning in, hello, thank you. Last week we, all right, you're good. Had a little bit of a hiccup because our stuff we used to produce our live and Apple decided they were going to fight each other. So we had to use regular old Zoom last week, but we're back. You know, because we're legit. No, we're not. That's funny. That's a good joke.
Semi legit.
You like
We're more
that?
legit than Nick Cassero.
All right.
Uh,
Let's see. Got some people watching. We had some breaking news before the podcast, too, about the Texans, but we'll get into that in a minute. All right, everybody quiet. Chris, you ready? Jackson?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast, sponsored by Sports Host. My name is Samantha Wernett, and co-hosting me with... Jesus Christ. Every time. Hold on.
Every single time. Come on, Sam.
For the last...
Come on, get it together.
For like
Get
the
it together,
last
Sam.
however many weeks, I have not been able to do this. All right, let's try this again.
Come on, Sam. No pressure. We're only live and recording.
Yeah. That's fine. It's not even it's not the recording that bothers me, it's the live, because I can edit the recording. I can't edit the live. Okay.
All 7 of these people are laughing at you right now.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast, sponsored by Sports Hosts. My name is Samantha Wernett, and joining me for co-hosting, God damn it.
Would you like me to start this off, or would you so that you can get it together?
I think it's because I got my Jaguars neon light on.
You blamed it on that last time, and you keep on turning it on. Are you a creature of habit, or are you a glutton for punishment?
Both.
God, Jesus.
She's so excited for the first pick.
That's what it is.
And Trevor Lawrence didn't even commit to going to the draft yet.
And Urban Meyer, but don't tell Justin. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast, sponsored by Sports Hosts. My name is Samantha Wernett. Joining me, co-hosting this evening, is Chris Jackson.
Howdy.
Chris, how's your New Year?
Doing today?
How's your New Year?
My New Year was great. I didn't get COVID, and I was able to avoid twisted teas. So as far as I'm concerned, 2021 is starting off fantastic.
I mean, I would like to be the one giving the twisted tea, not. I wouldn't expect to ever be on the receiving end of the twisted tea.
Oh,
well, listen, you have more pressing things to worry about. And if Trevor Lawrence doesn't decide to go into the pros, then maybe you need to direct it at him.
Hey.
That sounds like a T badge right there.
You got some room to talk over there, Chris Royal.
or should we say Nick Casero?
Chris,
yeah, just
Chris
rub it in.
Spoiler.
Just rub it in real
Yeah,
deep.
we'll get into that in a minute.
Spoiler alert.
We're gonna
rub
go-
it in real early.
I'm gonna introduce our commentators in order of the place their teams made for the AFC South Division. So joining us for the Titans this evening, we have John Ha.
This is sad. There's a tattoo artist that lost their annual client.
Mitch Firkins, tattoo artist. That's good.
That's great.
Joining us for the Colts, we have Harish Nukala.
Phillip Rivers almost won the division.
Almost, but not quite. Joining us for the Texans, we have Chris Royal.
I make losing look so good right now. Kind of like I'm like the Deshaun Watson of the podcast. I make the most out of less right now.
That's ballsy. That's ballsy.
Welcome,
ballsy.
everybody.
Joining us for the Sad Wires in last place, but it'll be good soon, right? Draft
God, the
2021.
brightest future, baby. The brightest future.
Justin Gonzalez for the Jaguars.
Hold on, we have some breaking news. Trevor Lawrence has announced he's going back to Clemson.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Come on now.
His girlfriend
Hey.
on Instagram said they're ready for their next adventure or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to be grifters. That's what.
Graduate
They're gonna be
transferring
swingers.
to Alabama. That's their next adventure.
Well, we were a little late starting the podcast this evening because we had some breaking news coming out of the Texans camp, and we'll get into that in a moment. Before we get started on that, as far as Week 17 wrapping up, we're at the end of the regular season, going into the playoffs. You know, it's been 2020, the 2021 season. That's really hard to say. You know, was a crazy season for the NFL with COVID and everything. What's going on in the playoffs? Where do we know? Has anybody gotten it? Are there any teams that possibly aren't going to be able to play? Is there going to be a bubble? Like, we haven't heard anything else about that. There was rumors. Who can talk about that?
Hurry, bud.
let's start with
Cleveland
the
Brown. Go ahead.
let's start with the Browns Brownie.
Yeah.
So our coach is out, right? Coach got COVID, and then Joe Batonio got COVID. So their starting left guard and their head coach Kevin Stefanski, who is a great coach by the way.
Coach of the year,
both
probably,
got
right?
COVID.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
good choice.
It's a great
I think
choice.
so.
I mean, yeah, it's hard.
Or
I
the
mean,
Bill,
what
the
he's been
Bills
able to do with them.
head coach too. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, but
Doug
I mean, they got
McDermott?
pretty far
McDermott.
last year.
No, they just got to the first round last year.
And the Browns are doing that without
Also, the
Odell Beckham.
Texans.
The Browns are doing that without Odell Beckham too. So that is some good coaching.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's just like you finally get there, and then of all the teams for this to happen to, it had to be the Browns. And
You
it
knew
sucks.
it was gonna
I'm,
happen.
I'm really excited. Like I know 2 people that are Browns fans, and one of them I video called him and I was like, dude, congratulations! Like I am so happy for Browns fans. And then I was like,
Yeah, me too.
Then I was like, what's it like? Tell me. How does it feel?
Explain.
Give me info.
Enjoy
Feels
this
like-
week because you're gonna
It
get
feels like the
beat.
Jags with a different uniform.
What?
Say it feels like the Jags with a different uniform.
Whatever. They've been in the league way longer than we have, and we've gotten way further than they have. I'm sorry. The Jaguars have gotten farther than your team has, Chris Royal. So
Our team, our team is pretty fairly new
multiple
around there.
times.
and
Our
so is
team is
ours.
like from the 17 years we just got into the league, just got a new franchise.
Okay, and we're
quarterback.
at 25. You're not far behind us.
You know, the Panthers got in the first 10.
We're going to the Super Bowl next year.
Oh.
Okay, Nicky Sarah, let's go.
That was he wanted to segue himself into that one, so that's cool. We can do that. There's been a lot of teams on the hunt for GM and head coaches. Coming out of the Broncos camp, John Elway has stepped down from his position, but he's still the man in charge. There's a lot of confusing stuff for a lot of different NFL teams. In our division specifically, the Titans, is it the offensive coordinator that everybody wants to interview? And the Colts,
Defensive guy.
yeah,
Eberflus, defensive
Yes.
coordinator.
defensive coordinator. So the Titans offensive, Colts defensive. So there's like a lot of talk about who's going where, who's getting interviewed for what. But literally right before this podcast, and part of the reason we were late starting was because we literally got a GM announcement out of Houston. So since you wanted to say that you're going to the Super Bowl next year, Chris, I'm going to let you take this one off the rip. Who'd you guys sign?
Okay. All right.
Go on mute.
We didn't sign, what is his name? We did not sign Ed Dobbs from the Colts, who was my favorite. We didn't sign Adam Peters from the 49ers. I think he was the guy that recruited George Kittles out of the 5th round. I really liked him too. We went with a somewhat typical Texans move, and we selected, I don't even know his name, Nick Caserio from the New England Patriots. We've been after him for 2 years. Last year we went after him, and when we went after him, I think we got hit with some tampering charges. Jack Easterby, who has weaseled his way into the front office in Houston. Last year at the New England's ring signing, he went up to New England during the ring ceremony and was caught trying to talk Nick Caserio into Houston last year. It didn't work. We got caught, and now they ended up signing him anyway. And so it makes the whole Cal McNair committee, where he put together a committee to find a GM, and all these great GMs that are out here, we didn't interview hardly any, and they signed the guy they wanted from the beginning, which is Nick Caserio. He's a pretty good dude from what I heard. He's a pretty good guy. He knows his stuff. Kind of skeptical on some of his draft picks. And he really didn't get Brady much help in the last few years as far as receivers go. But we're going to put our trust in him and see where he takes us.
All right, so now tell us how you really feel.
Are you really that
You're
confident?
gonna say
I'm fucked up
Because-
about
a different
this.
Yeah,
tune.
I'm
that's what I was
fucked
gonna
up
say.
about
Are you
this.
really that confident?
He's like, that was a different tune from before we got on.
I'm told I gotta give the
Listen,
Texans.
Chris, this happens a lot. Like, we're not calling you out because we call everybody out that does this.
Right.
Flame Douglas.
Yeah.
Flame Douglas talks a lot of crap in the group, but he gets on this podcast and he is humble. He's like, yeah, you know, we have
so
room
talk my
for
shit is what
improvement.
you're saying.
We have room for improvement.
Okay. Well, let me talk my shit.
Go ahead.
Well, in this
situation,
I can't stand this pick, man. It's such a homer pick. It pisses me off because there were so many great GMs out there that we could have chose from, and it's got all the evidence that Jack Easterby had his influence on his team, and he influenced the committee to take a guy that will obviously save his job. And so next year we're gonna have Jack Easterby still in the staff. It's like they ran.
Is that a bad thing though?
Yeah, it is. The dude was following players around in his car and checking them up on them away from practice.
Oh,
what?
That's
yeah,
goofy.
he had people following players, and he's the culture guy, and his culture is Christianity, and I don't mind Christianity. I'm a Christian myself, but his whole thing, he's a chaplain.
Yeah.
He has
okay.
no.
That's not who I was thinking of. I heard you say that he's going to keep his job, and I thought you were talking about Romeo Crennel.
No. Romeo Crennel's gone. He was just the interim head coach when Bill
But
O'Brien
is he
was
gone? You don't think they're going to try to keep him on staff?
He's about 72, 73 years old.
Yeah.
I think he wants to retire at some point.
Yeah, but wouldn't
he did a good
Look
job.
at Tom Coughlin. He would be a good head of football operations type deal, like somebody level-headed. The Easterby thing is scary. When they did that expose with Sports Illustrated.
Yes,
That's
it's
insane.
dangerous. It's dangerous. And just yesterday, Deshaun Watson made a comment. We need a leader that we can follow. There's too many people in this building that have power. They think they have the power that they don't really have. And a lot of people felt like he was talking about Jack Easterby. And for them to turn around and sign Nick Caserio, the guy they wanted from last year, tells us that they fed us a bunch of bullshit about some committee selecting the best guy. They already knew who they were going to take. And they fucking dumped that shit on us. And there's a lot of people in Houston that are scratching their heads because we're looking at GMs and from the looks of things, they're saying that there's a package deal for Joe Brady to be the guy that Nick Caserio hires as head coach.
So I actually think that's a very good segue because I'm talking to Robert Baker in the group.
Okay.
And he was telling me that I don't know if it's Eric Dabble or whatever his first name is, but Dabble, who's the OC for the Buffalo Bills, actually has the same agent as Easterby and Caserio.
They do.
So, Eric, that would be a horrible pick.
Here's a good questionable feedback comment. The other domino that could fall with Nick Caserio going to the Texans. Caserio was college teammates with Josh McDaniels at John Carroll University. Gotta wonder if Caserio wants McDaniels as the head coach.
Swerve.
That would be crazy.
If it's Caserio and Easterby running Kirby in 2021, why not just rehire O'Brien as head coach and complete McNair's original dream for the Texans Patriots South Power Trio?
That's all they want is New England runaways. That's all we go after, and it pisses us off. Every Texan fan, I guarantee you, is pissed off.
Oh well, I can tell you this much: if you guys really want to be the Patriots, you guys should go get Tom Brady. The Jaguars will take Watson?
Right. Well, what I would take if New England makes what is his name, Josh McDaniels. If they make him their head coach and they send us Belichick, now I'd do that. I would love that. But
Belichick ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
You'd have to take his kid too. That's the other problem.
And probably the owner of the Patriots.
What is his son? He's
you gotta take Belichick's kid.
Like the linebacker coach.
Belichick.
Yeah.
So we're just doing a retread over the New England Patriots hiring that we always do, and it freaking pissed me off. Now I've heard a lot of good things about Joe Brady. Some of you guys told me. I just don't know nothing about him. Um, it could be a good thing, but he's kind of young, and we kind of need a forceful leader in the Texans, somebody to take control. And it seems like Jack Easterby's got the control again, and everybody's pissed off. And shit, we even blame John McClain for even putting the damn news out there.
What you blaming Bruce Willis for?
We hate him too.
He just saved Christmas.
He can jump out of a tower for all I care. We're
So,
screwed,
well,
man.
moving
So
on
the pain
from-
doesn't stop.
Moving on from the sad Texans. I'm sorry.
The sad.
Not really. Let's move into the future Super Bowl.
Jesus
Jaguars.
Everybody's got a dream.
I'm just before we're gonna segue. We're gonna touch on the head coach and GM stuff since we just got done with the Texans. We'll talk about the Jaguars and then we'll go into the game. But who do you think, and feedback from the rest of you, GM position for the Jaguars and head coach? Now, we know that a lot of them can't interview until after the playoffs, if they're currently in the playoffs. So do we expect, and that's another thing, did the Texans jump the gun too quick knowing that because Bieniemy can't interview yet, right? Obviously he can talk, but he can't do interviews yet.
You can request permission from organizations to interview, and if the organization says yes, then they'll allow it.
But I think
Only
at this
during the bye
point
week.
they can't because they're in playoffs.
Yes, they can.
only-
During the bye week, they're allowed to, and even still, even I don't even know if you don't have a bye week, I think you're allowed to, as long as the organization okays somebody to interview from somewhere else, they can. Usually, the coaches and everything like that, or the candidates don't do it because they like to stay focused on the task at hand. But it is you are allowed to if allowed to by the organization.
Well,
Yeah,
who
they
do you
can- they can
think
request
who do you
it.
think the Jaguars are going to take, Justin, for GM?
I kind of changed my tune with Dorsey. I was a big component of it, but after I did just a wee bit more research, I don't think he's going to try to take on another rebuild. To be perfectly honest, even though he would luck into Lawrence, but I like Mike Orgonzi, which is the same guy that Matthew Briggs said last week. Been there with the Chiefs for a long time. I think he's just going to be the guy. You got your quarterback, now build around that. He's the guy I like the most at this point.
Dang.
So what about for head coach?
Kansas City should try to get out of the wins.
We know
Yeah,
Urban Meyer. Listen, the whole city of Jacksonville right now is on flight watch. So yesterday, an
More like
executive
jump watch.
flight came in
there.
from Ohio. And
Oh,
everybody
God.
is like tweeting like, executive flight coming in from Ohio. It's got to be Urban Meyer. So then everybody started trolling people about Urban Meyer. And it was the greatest. Like one guy was like, my friend's a real estate agent, just sold this house for $8 million in Ponte Vedra to Urban Meyer. He slapped $8 million down on the counter and said, get out of my house. And everyone's like, nuh-uh, that's not how transactions work, even if you're paying cash. It's like, it's a freaking joke, dude. It's a
That's
joke.
all right,
And this
too.
other guy said, dude, I just went and got a COVID vaccine, pulled up full PPE. Guess who gave me my vaccine?
yeah.
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer. 2 months ago in Texas, they were saying Urban Meyer's wife is looking for houses in Texas. And Austin.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
heard he's asking for $12 million a year.
that's chump
Give it
change
to
to
him.
Shad Khan.
Keep asking. Keep asking. You ain't
Give it
getting
to
it.
him.
Yeah, how do you
Give
feel
it to
about
him.
that? To me, as a Jags fan, I know I'm non-biased for this episode. To me, bittersweet. I'm a Gator fan. Hate what he did to the to the Gators, but he got us some championships. He built a great team, and then he's like, Ohio State, So, what do you think, Justin?
I don't want him as a coach. I think he's a great college coach. He's a great recruiter, great, all that stuff. But I want someone that's going to grow with the team and stick with the team more. Even if they get a headache or some type of heart issue, they're going to stick with the team. And that guy, to me, with Trevor Lawrence and the weapons that we got right now, is Joe Brady. I know that there's talk about him going to Houston at this point, but I definitely would want Joe Brady. He's my guy. So
is the only reason why you're hesitant about Urban Meyer because of the fact that he likes to leave teams toxic, as
Better
people
than
say,
he
which I
gets them.
Well, that is true. I mean, he's won everywhere he's been. That's great, but um, I just don't have confidence in a guy that's he's not. Who's he going to bring as his OC? Right? He's not going to take any of his college guys away. The Dan
Gonna keep
Mullins
Jay
of the world.
Gruden.
The right.
He could bring Ryan Day and be like, "Hey, buddy, let's go get Justin and
Right.
let's
So
roll with the
you
punches."
Why
think-
not? Why not
You
keep
got
Jay
to
Gruden?
Ryan Day
Or
would
Jay
leave
Gruden.
Ohio State to take an
I've
assist-
seen
or-
when it comes to coaching carousels, I've seen some crazy things happen.
I know he would
I'm
be
a
what
Colts
assistant
fan.
head coach.
I
and
thought Josh
offensive coordinator?
McDaniels. I thought Josh McDaniels. Was
Yeah,
my-
but do
was
you
my
think
OC
that-
was my
do you
head
think-
coach. Like I've seen crazy things happen.
Shad
No,
Khan
I-
has
yeah.
kept everybody on staff so far, which I was like, oh, why can't we get rid of Wash? But I mean, Gruden hasn't done a bad job building our offense, and
I don't disagree, but I think this is a fresh start. And a fresh start is that you've seen these new wave or these new age offensive coordinators that become head coaches, Matt
Yeah.
LaFleur, and a bunch of other guys that Sean McVay that have went into roles with a new quarterback and be successful. And what I mean by successful is getting to the playoffs. It's not getting 500. And I think that if that's the trend of how we're doing with football, I don't want to run the ball for 3 plays and then punt. I want a team that's going to win a track race and not a stalemate tug of war battle with the run game.
Well, that's
And-
Urban, right? Urban's a spread guy.
Urban is a spread guy.
He is,
He is run the ball and play action. Hopefully the guy is fast enough in the corners downfield to outrun them. He's a boomer bust type of coach. And I don't know if that translates super well in the NFL. Aspects of it does. But if you think X receiver is going to outrun this corner, well,
Right.
here's the thing. Every corner and every safety is just as fast as almost every wide receiver except for Tyreek Hill and maybe Henry Ruggs.
He
That
was a
I don't know
speeder,
if that
yeah.
kind of play action is just like, oh, throw the ball down the middle of the field and hope that he gets it. I don't know if that's going to translate well in the NFL.
And he's a real big power type guy, meaning he likes total control, right?
Yeah.
How's that going to sit with Khan when he said,
no,
Yeah,
okay, don't.
Let's talk about that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
let's
good
talk
point.
hold on. I got a
Let's talk
couple.
about Jerry Conn.
Top.
I mean,
Stop. Hold on. I got some bones to pick with a couple of you.
straighten us out, straighten us
Oh
out.
Lord.
All right.
Come
Oh,
on,
here we go.
Okay.
Shy Jones, baby, let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. Listen.
Shy Jones.
First of all, Justin said our offensive line didn't need to be fixed.
Hold on.
Who said that?
Hold on.
The
I
discussion,
have
the
stood by.
discussion
Hold on.
was.
I have stood by the fact.
He's got to put words in your mouth first, Justin.
I
I
have
love it
stood
when
by
the
the
Jags
fact
argue.
that the Jaguars' offensive line,
Yep.
specifically
great. It's number one in the league.
specifically Andrew Norwell, who was overpaid way too much money, okay, which is also a topic that I'll get into with Harish because I know what he's about to bring up, okay?
You got shit-eating
You're
grin
never
on his
going to
face
be
over
able to
there.
protect any quarterback behind that offensive line. I don't care what any rankings say. If you watch tape, the quarterback does not get protected. After week 1 of the Colts game, they figured out if you run out around the line, easy blitz. They figured that out. Simple.
I think that's actually a play call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's what they
that's-
figured
that's
out.
a
The outside
contain.
line is garbage. They're so
If
busy
you can-
blocking
if
and
you run
filling
contain?
in holes. They're so busy blocking and filling in
Like a
holes.
wide 9.
They're so busy blocking and
Run a
filling in
13-5.
holes for players in the middle and filling in spots for players in the middle that they've realized now that if they just run out, easy.
My turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I don't think our offensive line is great, but to have it be a pinpoint as to why our offense is bad, I think that's a little overstating just how bad the quarterback play
The
is. I think
quarterback,
I've tried to
thank you.
prove time and time again that the Seahawks is graded a worse offensive line than us, but they're in the playoffs because they have
Yes.
better quarterback play,
An elite
right?
quarterback.
If you look at the stats compared to our offensive line versus someone like the Eagles, one
Right.
stat that was brought up, Sam, was pressures, is that we've only gave up 126 pressures, which is the bottom half of the league, which that means
No,
Jesus,
there's
that's a
There
lot.
we had
better.
21%.
It's definitely the quarterback though, because
Correct. We had 126
So
pressures, but the worst team had 175, which is the Chargers, and 172 is the Eagles. Their offensive lines are freaking awful.
I'm not saying we're the worst,
And
but
what
I'm
I'm saying is that we need to address the quarterback play because the quarterback play is going to elevate the line play. Yes, I think Jawan Taylor took a step back this year, and that's why the offensive line is bad. But if you have pocket containment and you have
Andrew
running
Norwell.
lanes, I don't
Andrew
know
Norwell.
what else people would ask for their offensive line outside of that. And
Andrew Norwell is garbage. Why do not people not see that? That's why
he's
they
garbage
had to
for what he's getting
He's a
paid
good
for.
run-
Yes,
run-
he's a
Yes.
$15 million player that's playing
They
like a $6
literally
million
had to
player. That is
restructure
true.
his contract to be.
If I could
incentive
just
based.
interrupt as a
Yeah.
fan from a team that knows good offensive line play.
Yeah, me and
Um,
Harish watched the tape.
for like a half a year.
Go ahead.
For 2 years. Okay.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
So real quick,
Go ahead, John.
what is your quarterback's average time to release the ball from snap?
I think it's like 2.2.
Ours was
That's too
2.4.
That's too
2.4.
slow.
Is that different between mustache?
We
and
had
the
one of the
other
high,
guy?
listen.
I mean, Minshew
we
and
had-
the other
But
guy?
hold on.
We
So
listen.
let's
We had a
dissect
high.
that
We had a
That's too
higher
slow.
pressure.
Let's
high pressure
dissect
count.
that stat.
High pressure count. High scramble count. Less time in the pocket. I mean, come on. The offensive line
Texans
isn't
have been dealing with
good.
that for years.
Are we talking pocket time or what are we talking about, Harish?
I mean, literally everything with
to
the offensive
release.
line. I'm not
How-
saying that. I'm not saying Gardner
long-
Minshew is the future. I'm not saying that we need a quarterback. But what I'm saying is we're going to have Trevor Lawrence hurt by week 6 if we don't address the fact that the outside is having to cover the inside, trying to block the quarterback. Hence why Nick Foles ended up in the situation he was in. If we don't fix that middle, because it literally just crumbles in and everybody runs out and you're done.
So is it
And then they
just
have
that
to
one?
scramble
Is
outside
it
the
just
pocket every time.
Norwell?
So
Just
it
Norwell?
cracks me up. So the pocket containment,
Jackson,
right?
let's go. Come on.
No. This is my last point. If you have
So
pocket
sorry.
containment, you have a certain amount of time you have to get the ball out. When Gardner Minshew is 6 foot and he can't see over a 6'6" defender and he has to run out from the pocket before he's supposed to, and he tries to go make a play, and then the offensive line's like, "What are you doing running out when he had like 4 more seconds to throw the ball?" That's on Gardner Minshew. If he can't see over the lineman and he runs out of the pocket and he gets sacked, that's on him.
Is that or is there pressure?
There's always going to be pressure. If you think an offensive line is not going to give up sacks, okay, that's
I'm not
college.
saying that, but they're not. that good.
What I'm saying is that in the NFL, there's going to be pressure no matter what. You have to have pocket containment with your quarterback, and you have to give the quarterback enough time to throw the ball. Yes, but the quarterback has to identify the pressure. The quarterback has to know that, hey, the blitz is coming. I have to get the ball out quicker. And when you do have pocket containment, you have to find a receiver or throw it away. Gardner Minshew is a scrambler. He tries to run out of the pocket and make plays that he shouldn't. That's why his pocket time, or the pocket time stat that we have here, is 2.4. Yeah, there's other quarterbacks that have that are successful, like Aaron Rodgers and other quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, he's doing that because he's making plays he shouldn't be making, is the point. And once we get Trevor Lawrence, my man behind me,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
that a lot of those woes is going to elevate our play from being a
Do you
mediocre
think the
line.
Jaguars need to pick up an offensive lineman in the draft?
If Cam Rob, I do think that they're going to need to upgrade the left tackle position if Cam Robinson leaves, and they need to address the right tackle position.
He needs
just
to
for
leave.
the simple reason of that Jawan Taylor has regressed from where he was last year.
Yes, Jawan Taylor.
So-
not that good. Norwell, hot garbage.
I don't.
Your best,
for what he's
your
getting
best
paid,
lineman's
yes.
Linder, right?
For what he's getting paid, I agree, but he is sufficient enough at the left guard position.
So
Anyways,
so I guess
on to Harish.
real
Yeah.
quick. So I guess some of my point was, how long does it take for the quarterback to release the ball from the snap? Because that also plays a factor into
Play
how many
calling.
sacks he takes, how much pressure he has. It goes back to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson takes a lot of hits,
He had the
But he
second
also-
most sacks.
Extends play.
but he
correct.
also
But he hangs onto the ball
no.
quite a bit.
Exactly. That
But
was
he
my
makes
point.
play.
right?
But he makes plays too.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He
No, I'm
doesn't
not saying he
just
doesn't.
take sacks.
I am also saying
Oh, you're
he should
talking
be
about the
sacked
number.
less.
That's
He
the
should be
price you
sacked
pay
less
for holding on to the
because
ball
he
so
holds
long.
onto the ball.
Yeah.
too long.
Sometimes
But if
you
he
take those
doesn't-
hits, but then sometimes you make a big play when you hold on to
Sure.
the ball a little
Right.
bit.
Right.
But
It-
you
it's
can
a
argue
mix.
whatever.
And
we'll
We just
take
had
that.
the
Also
most.
get hit.
Hold on. We just had the most
Okay.
ridiculous comment to date. Gabriel Ruiz says,
Oh God.
Forget Sunshine. Jags need to jump on Cam Newton."
Hey,
Cam Newton.
Yeah,
I tried to give the coach Cam Newton last year. My bad, you guys.
So-
it's all right.
He was
So,
he's
listen.
done.
Mm,
He's done. He
Justin,
is done.
I think
Agree
my
to
last
go-
point is that this is it, and this is I'm done talking about it. Is that our play is good enough that we need to address positions in the draft that are holes at this point, and that's a outside linebacker, safety. Those positions are going to need to get filled. We can suffice right now with our offensive line with elevated quarterback play. Was my whole point. The over exaggeration that our team is so bad because our offensive line's bad.
I
is
never said
really
that.
not a good.
I never
I'm not
said that.
saying you did. I'm saying the Jaguar fan base as a whole. That's always their
None of them
crutch is
say
that, oh, we get terrible offensive line play. Well, according to Pro Football Focus and all the stats we have here, that proves otherwise. We
Who
just
is it
better
that said
That
we need to
doesn't
take
prove
things
otherwise.
to 2 minutes?
that doesn't prove otherwise.
Especially talking about the
This
Jags.
is no. This is
Yes,
separate.
yes.
This is separate from
This is an
game time.
important conversation. We need
No,
to talk
this
about
is
left
separate.
tackles.
This is separate from the gameplay.
We
This
still
is-
We still have
30
another minute.
The-
But-
you're-
but let's-
This is
but
Sam's
let's be-
corner now. This is Sam's corner.
But let's be also very, very real about this. This is
Yep.
where the head coach is going to come into play because
Yes.
you have somebody who's calling offense. Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew, for all means, was not that bad. He's a short quarterback who really can't do that. But the thing
And he
is,
was a
if you're
backup.
not game planning, but
He
if
was a
you're
backup.
not game planning for a guy like Gardner Minshew, and your team has no real offensive identity, then he's going to end up rolling out of the pocket. Look at Baker
Correct.
Mayfield before Kevin Stefanski got there. Look at Carson Wentz, like last year or even this year, rolling to the right, getting demolished because you don't have that time or there's no
Can
speed
I
in
make
place.
can I make
Hey, Cody,
Look
do you
at
think
Phil
offensive
Rivers
line comment?
last year.
Doug
Yes.
Marrone was hired to the Jaguars as the offensive line coach. The end.
But the thing is,
Maybe you should hire Freddie
Is it-
Kitchens.
isn't y'all's GM going to be more important? Getting the right GM is more important than the head coach because
That's
you
for the
got.
Texans.
Well, I mean, for the Jags too.
Oh,
I
too
mean,
late.
if you got to fix your line, if you got to fix your,
Whoops.
your quarterback situation, you guys got 4 picks in the first
Yeah,
2 rounds.
so that's
Their
so that's
QB
what Harish tried to
situation's
bring up.
already fixed.
This is what
Their
Harish
QB
tried to bring up earlier when I decided that I had 2 bones to pick with both of them. He has been talking all week about how Shad Khan said
Shad
that
Jones? My guy.
Shad Jones or Jerry Khan, whatever, assuming that he's Jerry Jones, had a press conference and made the comment that he was going to be the ultimate decision maker. Okay.
He's going to let other head coaches know.
Now let me tell
They're
you
in
guys
control.
something. I'm gonna
He's gonna
say
call up a guy
I'm
from
gonna say it
AEW.
without I'm gonna say this without calling people racist. Okay. But I'm gonna let you decide. In the last 3 years, since we were 1 game away from the Super Bowl, we have signed Andrew Norwell to a $63 million contract.
Jesus Christ.
We have signed Blake Bortles to a 3-year, $36 million contract.
Worth
And we
it.
signed Nick Foles to an $88 million contract. Hold on. And we had
Refused to sign.
a head of football operations who and our general GM who decided that they would let players go because of their attitudes. Those players are Allen Robinson, Jalen Ramsey, Barry Church, Yannick Ngakwe, Boye, who else? Campbell, Walter Payton Man of the Year, huh?
Fournette.
Fournette, Tashawn Gibson. Now, I'll let you guys figure that out. Look who got paid versus who did not get paid. So in that speech, Shad Khan was saying, I'm going to be the final decision maker because all these guys got ridiculous.
That's not going to work with Urban Meyer.
And those are
Well,
8.
No, I believe they said they wanted to get rid of the people who had the wrong attitude, and I think winning was the attitude he was trying to avoid.
Okay. No, and that's not the attitude he was trying to
Success.
avoid. That was the attitude that they were trying to avoid. But at the
No,
end
they
of the
were
day,
trying to
they
avoid
killed
the
the
meat-
culture
the
in
meat
Jacksonville. You
first.
had a literal bulletproof defense that got completely dismantled because he put the trust into one person, Dave Caldwell, and 2 people, Tom Coughlin, who he ultimately got rid of, and he put all of their faith in them, and they said, "Oh, these guys have attitude, so we're not going to pay them." No shot. I
Well-
got this. I know football. And look
Well,
what they
these-
did. They completely
They
dismantled.
were
Wow.
some meat first guys, though, to be honest with you.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but then again, it's
There's
just like, does
nothing.
that really?
I don't know. Jalen
Me
Ramsey
first.
hasn't been that way in LA though. He's
Well,
just
I
been
mean-
he's been
Yes, he
quietly brilliant in LA.
Yeah.
The problem is that you can say
Just
that
get
those
paid.
guys all had attitudes, but guess what? Every single last one of those guys, I think, except for maybe AJ Bouye, is in the playoffs now.
That's my
Yeah.
Every
point.
single last one of them.
Well,
Do you want me?
It was
Do you
the
want me to
culture
say
that
it?
was the Jags.
Hey, listen. Do you want me to say it? I'll say
Well,
it.
before you say it,
There's literally been rumors for years that Tom Coughlin was racist. He paid 3 white guys multi-million-dollar year-long contracts and cut all of our black players that were star players.
well, here's the thing:
makes
is that I
sense.
think is it
Because of
possible
their
it could
attitude.
have
That's
something
exactly
to
what
do
he
with
did.
race? It could be race, but he's also trying to market a team to London, and I don't know what kind of like.
Why
Hey
not?
man, there's a lot of great black athletes in London.
I've seen
Well,
I've seen
name
black guys
one.
drink tea. John.
Obama gang. Yeah,
I
mean-
No, but at the end of the day,
Emmerich
when he
Obama.
made
I
that
just
comment,
wanted to
But
say
Tom
that they're going to London. That's all.
Tom Coughlin did that in New York with the Giants too, right?
right? And that's
Yeah,
what I'm
Michael
saying. So
Strahan hated
Coughlin-
him.
this is what's been happening for years. I didn't want to come out and say it, but it's the truth. So when Shad Khan says that, he was basically blanket statement saying, "I'm not going to let our team get fucked over again." He mentioned a
that's
lot
what he
about
was saying.
diversity when it came to the head coach position. He literally blanket statement, "I'm not going to let us get screwed over again," because he didn't meddle enough. Like
It sounds like
I
Samantha
don't know
just proved
where
her
this
point.
whole
Justin.
he's trying
What's
to be
that?
Jerry Jones. He literally
That-
has been an absent owner. He owned the team. He forked over the money, and he put all of his trust into the wrong people. And he's going to
And
make
it's
sure
not-
it doesn't happen.
She proved her point with that one because I took it like he was saying, I'm in control and whoever the head coach is got to listen to me. But she makes a lot of sense that he's not going to accept another Tom Coughlin situation.
Somebody,
yeah,
yes,
I-
somebody just
everything
commented that
Sam
Coughlin did
said
it to Plaxico Burress too.
Right.
Plaxico
Everything.
Burress shot himself, and I mean that literally and figuratively.
Yes, but
Yeah,
he
I
still
think
did.
everything Sam says is correct. I think where they screwed up was just signing Blake Bortles instead of trying to go after Kirk Cousins. And there, it's just a domino effect. You signed a quarterback to a $25 million deal. You got to make cap room. You got to ship players off. I mean, that was the bad mistake.
But
We've been
I think the
suffering.
Vikings
I
would
don't
have preferred you did that too. I mean,
Yeah, correct.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think getting Kirk Cousins was going to be any better for you guys.
Are you kidding me? You put him
no.
with our
Maybe a little,
defense.
maybe a little.
Well,
maybe.
listen,
Yeah, put him with our
that's
defense.
been enough. That's been enough of
sure.
Sam's rants. So we need to get into game.
Thanks for
We spent
swinging
the
by to
first-
Sam's rants.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
we
by
spent the
Sam's
first
rants.
30
Signing
minutes.
We
off.
sucked
quite a
out.
lively episode.
Yeah.
We spent the
Sam,
first
hey,
30
Sam,
minutes
wait.
talking
Hey,
about
listen,
the
I already
two-worst
told
teams
I already
in the
told
division.
Justin when he came up on my post commenting, I was like, I hope you're on the podcast this
Oh,
week,
I
buddy.
came in guns blazing. I'll
He
tell
sure
you,
did.
because I was tired
Hey,
of
Sam.
Jack's Twitter saying the same thing. I was like, Sam, you're better than that.
Look at this. You guys are killing
Hey,
the
Sam.
ratings. We're down 2 viewers.
Well,
Oh,
Chris Jackson, I'm
Sam,
gonna let you
great way
take.
to-
Because we're talking
now I'm gonna take
Jaguars.
over. Great
Yep.
way to stick to the notes, Sam. God damn.
I'm sorry,
Now that we got
Sorry.
the losers out of the way, the Texans and the
Chris
Jags.
Jackson. I'm gonna let you go. Justin, we've talked about the Jaguars long enough. Give us a recap.
don't-
We already know what happened, and then
yeah, we're bad.
yeah,
Done.
we're bad. The end. Number one pick.
We're done. We lost. Thank you.
Division week. Jags, Colts, Texans, Titans. So go ahead, Chris. Take it off. Harish,
Wait,
let's hear
what?
you talk.
Now Harish has got Colts.
Your amazing offensive line.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, all we did was just let Jonathan Taylor finally figure out his groove. 30 for the first time all year. Frank Reich wasn't an idiot. Thank you, Frank Reich. Gave the ball to Jonathan Taylor 30 times. Lo and behold, 253 and 2 touchdowns. Like, dude, just give the guy the ball. Before today, I think the most carries Jonathan Taylor had was 23. And that was like 6 weeks ago. He usually caps him around 12 or 15. I never understood it. I don't get it. But yeah, finally gave him the ball. So keep giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Only let Phillip Rivers throw for 20 times or so. And we'll win. We'll win more than we are. Then, we should have won 14 games this year. I'll say it. I think we should have only had 2 losses. But Frank Reich does dumb shit. He stops running the ball like he did in the Pittsburgh game, like he did in the Ravens game, like he did in the Browns game, like he did against the Jaguars the first game. He starts running the ball, and I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But yeah, run the ball, play defense. It's January. Let's play football.
You guys literally was the last team to make the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. Dude,
If it wasn't for a 17, you wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
11 wins is
It's
nothing
11
to
wins.
crap on, all right? Come on.
You
11
guys
wins
are
is
crazy.
nothing to crap on. That's a great season.
Come on, man. You almost lost to the Dolphins in the playoff
Nick Casero, chill out, man.
Come on, bro. If they wouldn't have had
a
a 17, you guys wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
I just want to mention that I
What are you
happened to
talking
check out
about?
the
They have
Texan.
no offense.
I happened
I'm
to
just
check
saying-
the Texan Storm
They
Report
have a
podcast, and
seven-
Pat Storm looks like he's crying right now. I just want to
I
mention.
bet
They
he
have a
is.
7 seed, and they still didn't, and the Texans still didn't get in. So what's your
Yeah.
argument?
Well, we knew we weren't going to make it. But if you think about it,
There's nothing to think about.
Well, it is. We lost 8 games by 1 possession. Actually, we could have swept the division if it wasn't for 4 fourth quarter slip and mishaps that happened twice on the 2-yard line with the Colts, 1 overtime game with the Titans, the division
No,
leader.
it was a 2-point conversion. That
It
was
was a
a
2-point
weird
conversion.
decision to make.
It was a great
Yeah.
decision. You go for the 2-point, you go for the win, and he was open. If he would have hit his man, that game would have been over no matter what you guys would have done. That would have been a victory.
And then you didn't get it, and you lost.
Right. But I'm just saying we were that close from being sweeping the entire division with the crappy team that we had.
But
Your
but the thing is,
your defense gave
We
up
have
a
a crappy
50-yard
defense.
pass with 10
We did.
seconds to go. I don't want to
That-
hear it. Your defense
That is the defensive coordinator's
That's it.
problem.
I don't
Yeah,
care
what was
who's
up with that?
calling it.
Every Texas
Ass
fan
trash.
knows that we should have been.
Ass
What was that defensive call there? You
That
know
was-
they know the situation. Why are they giving
It
that
was-
up?
Oh,
Why are we
man.
talking about the time? We're talking about
Chris.
the Colts. Why are we talking about that game?
Because Chris
Right
likes to talk about the Texans. How
No,
ass trash they
You
are.
had brought up that the coach should have won 11 games, and
We
barely
did
won
He's
the
at
win
game.
14.
11
He's at
games.
14.
We should have won 14.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you look
excuse
at
me,
it,
you said
we
you
Yeah,
should
that's
have.
right. It started when Chris tried to say that 11 wins is a terrible thing and it's just pitiful. And
So we
get
should-
out of here.
So we shouldn't
14
have beat.
wins.
we
There's
shouldn't
no
have
way they
beaten
would have won
Pittsburgh?
14 wins.
We shouldn't have beaten
Y'all
Pittsburgh.
shouldn't have beat the Texans.
Just
It
let him
doesn't
live in
matter.
the fantasy
It
land.
doesn't
Let him live in
matter.
fantasy land,
Look,
Reish.
Bro, it's
It's
a
not
very.
a fantasy,
look,
man. Y'all know doggone well. at
No,
the end
I'm
of
saying
those games,
I'm saying let Harish live in fantasy land.
there
He
you go.
feels
There you
better
go.
there. It's fine. 14
That's-
wins, maybe
that's
it's a
right.
lot. Maybe that's excessive, but you
But
know
but
what?
you did it.
Probably,
We can't be
could have
mad you
more.
guys did win.
every team could have more wins if one thing goes this way, that way, this way, that way. That's why it's a stupid argument. Is because
Right.
you could have more losses if you did something different too. That's why it's whatever. Let him live in
Right.
14 wins.
We blew a 17-point lead. We blew a 14-point lead to the Jaguars in the first game. Like, I mean, again, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? This is not a bad football team. This is actually a very good football team. If the thing about this Colts team is they don't play for 60 minutes. They don't play for. They play. Look at the Steelers game. They played a phenomenal 30-minute game. They were clearly better than the Steelers, and then they half-assed it. Last
Something
week,
happens to that defense in the second half.
it's
Right.
not just it's everybody. The defense goes dead.
Guys.
The offense goes dead. Somebody
Breaking-
goes dead. I
breaking
don't
news.
understand it.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I'm told Jaguars are currently scheduling head coach interview with Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy per source.
Oh, that's good.
I'll
That's
take
good.
I'll take it.
That's just scheduling an interview. It doesn't mean anything.
Does that mean Urban Meyer didn't like London? He doesn't want to.
Shut up, John Haw.
He was like, oh.
You're a fan of a transplant team. Shut up.
Anyway, but look, you get it done. Jonathan Taylor, that 40-yard break, he finally got at the end of the game.
Is T.Y. Hilton going to retire next year?
No.
I think
don't
Philip
know.
Rivers is going to retire too. Isn't he?
Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
I don't know, man. I mean, you guys obviously know where I stand on QB. I think Philip Rivers has done a phenomenal job versus what he did last year.
He's done exactly what he's been asked to do.
Manage a game.
Manage the game, run the ball. I think a lot of our losses come down to play calling.
This was a better season than you were expecting, or at least most people were expecting. Most people would look at that and thought regroup,
expecting
sort of
about
put a
this.
Band-Aid over the quarterback position, but nobody was like people thought maybe playoffs, but I don't think people were expecting 11 wins.
I said in the preseason, I thought we were good enough to win the division. So this is about what I expected. I've said it all year. I think we're good enough to win the division, and we didn't win it, right?
Yeah, I was
Thank you,
right there.
Texans.
So you were wrong.
But we got 11 wins. Like, I'm not complaining.
No,
11-win season is really damn good.
That's fine. That's a good season.
Especially this being the first season without Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck that we make the playoffs in 20 years.
Hey, 11 wins get you to win the NFC East or North or wwhatever it is twice. So, hey, 11 wins is good.
Get you that 7th seed, too.
Yeah, I guess I mean, Chris, you're not the 7th seed. You're not even the 7th pick, so I don't even know what you keep calling.
We knew we were bad. We knew we were bad once we traded Hopkins, man. Every Texas fan knew that.
You could have had it. Maybe that's why you like the Dolphins.
That should have been
so
a
much.
moment where they're just like, when Bill O'Brien goes and he's having that discussion with himself about trading Hopkins.
Bro.
That should have been the point where you just go ahead and say,
bro,
is this the way that you need to go right
Bill
now?
O'Brien brought in the COVID-19 era.
We just had a comment, a copy and paste comment from a commentator.
Raheem Morris, Robert Saleh. So it looks like Eric Bieniemy tomorrow.
Yep.
Raheem Morris Thursday. Robert Saleh Saturday.
Didn't all of them interview with Atlanta too? So I mean, these guys are making the rounds.
Yeah, probably. And
nobody wants you, Raheem Morris.
I'd take Robert Saleh.
What is everybody?
Morris, honestly.
One of them is from the Falcons, which thank you.
What is y'all take on Eric Bieniemy?
I like it. I'll take it.
Offensive mind.
Sign him up.
Obviously, he's a great offensive mind.
Honestly, if there's certain coaches where their coaching trees to me are just like absolutely flawless, I wouldn't dare touch anybody that comes from Bill Belichick and the Patriots. But when it comes
Andy
to
Reid,
Eric Bieniemy,
talking to you, Texans.
Yeah, taking Andy Reid. Coach.
What coaching tree did Frank Wright come from? Is that considered Doug Peterson?
I don't think it's Doug.
He wasn't in
Peterson.
KC, right?
No, because
where was he before that?
He was
in Philly.
He was a QB coach in Buffalo prior to that.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't come from KC with Doug.
He was also a QB coach with the Colts, with Dungy.
Yeah.
With Dungy.
So he came back. So he might be from the Dungy tree.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, if you look at the Andy Reid tree, there's not too many, but I mean, you'd have Eric Bieniemy, which to me, it's just like will be a great hire for whoever. And then I think the coach from Buffalo, he's from Andy Reid's coaching tree, and he's done a phenomenal job with that team. I think he's been there for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've actually been pretty damn good in that time.
I kind of have my doubts about Eric Bieniemy, and the only reason is because I wonder if Andy Reid himself doesn't trust Eric Bieniemy to call the plays on a full-time basis, and he's not a full-time offensive coordinator. Is he truly ready to be a head coach and to take on those responsibilities and still call the plays? A lot of offensive coordinators that are getting head coaching jobs, they have called the plays from day one, maybe 1 year, 2 years, but they are calling the plays. And I've seen a couple of videos where they asked Eric Bieniemy, "Hey, who calls the plays?" And Eric Bieniemy says, "Well, we have a system. I get the information relayed from the coach, and then I relay the information to Mahomes." So does Eric Bieniemy call those plays? Is that his scheme? Is that his philosophy? And can that translate without going through the gauntlet of a whole year being the OC?
There could be a little bit of an adjustment, right? I mean,
and I'm not hating on the guy. I like him. I wish him the best. I just have my doubts on that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to the playoffs, so we're not going back and dragging this on for like 12 years.
Yeah,
because as much as I love the coaching carousel, that's not what we're talking about right now. Anyway, I guess Saturday, Colts Bills. Look, I did some research on Josh Allen, and I get that the Bills are flying right now.
He's good.
The best defensive line they played was 13 weeks ago, all year, and that defensive line was the Rams, right? This is going to be the best front seven that the Bills see since fucking September.
In the first half.
Right.
Here,
For two
again,
quarters.
if the Colts play for 60 minutes, I think we're going to beat them. Right?
If this was full of drink,
However-
I would be drunk.
However, I don't think just based off the last 2 weeks, I don't trust us to play for 60 minutes because I just feel like that's just where we go. I think the Bills win this game like 35-31.
So you're saying one and done?
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're one and done. Just because.
Damn.
And again,
I did not expect that.
I've never had Super Bowl aspirations for this team. I never had Super Bowl aspirations. I didn't even have AFC Championship aspirations.
Way to set high goals, brother.
Set low expectations.
He's not the coach.
I can get low expectations every time.
He's not on the team. They're not going to fine him if he says that we don't think we're going to make the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's not true. DeForest Buckner just called me and told me that he's going to fight him.
Oh,
Frank Wright thinks this is a Super Bowl team. If I could see this team play for 60 minutes, I agree. The problem is I don't see them play for 60 minutes. I haven't done it. I haven't seen it all year. I have not seen this team play a full game for 60 minutes. And if they do, I think they could beat anybody. If they play for 60 minutes,
that first Titans game you did.
Anybody. No, we didn't even play for 60 minutes that game. I don't think we did.
Justin, did you see them play for 60 minutes week 1?
In all honesty, they didn't play for 60 minutes this past week either. The game was closer than it should have been.
We haven't played for 60 minutes all year. And I don't think the Bills doesn't have a great run defense. It's actually like in 20th or something. So I think at some point we're gonna stop running the ball. QB Frank is gonna get really excited, and Rivers is gonna end up throwing 30 times when he shouldn't have to. We should just shove the ball down their throat because I think we can, and we're not going to. That's just how I see it, and that's why I think we lose. If we do play for 60 minutes, I think we're going to win. But if I don't, I just don't trust it. I just don't trust it. So 35-31 Bills.
35.
So we got 35-31, and you say that you don't trust them. Okay, fair enough. Speaking of don't trust, even though the Titans did win the division, John Hall, give us a reason why you may not trust this team to go all the way.
I mean,
hold on. I like how you just come off the rip assuming he's going to be negative because he's always negative. What makes you not trust him, even though they're number one?
I like John's commentary.
How many? Okay,
it's not negative. It's completely objective. That's
okay. Here's the thing. How many times do you need to hear me say how terrible this defense is? You've heard it all year. I've said it every week how terrible the defense is. Let's change things up just a little. Let's change things up a little bit. Let's get positive, all right? Let's flip the tables a little bit. So, like Chris Royal, I'm just going to give you two numbers, 462 and 22.79%. Justin and Sam, let me give you another number, 299 and 14.75%. And Harish and Chris, let's go with 281 and 13.86%. If you add all that up together, that's 51.4% and 1,042 of Derrick Henry's 2,027 yards for the season.
How much?
Thank you all very much.
How much?
Thank you all very much.
How much do you think?
Over half.
How much do you think John Haw practiced that in his mirror before he came on the podcast tonight?
All I did was write down the numbers.
Why didn't you ask your neighbor to play after?
What did I miss?
I just wanted to be different for you guys. I just want to be different for you guys. You guys are talking about how nasty and evil I am. I thought this would cheer you up.
I never.
Well, thanks for letting us know
you guys
how much
aren't
we
happy?
helped you guys.
Do you guys like me better when I'm
happy.
bagging on the Titans, or should I go ahead and keep going with
I just
this?
want you to be honest.
No, so here.
Were those not real numbers? Those were real numbers.
So now that you got the good stuff out the way,
we like you no matter what, John Hall. We like you no matter
tell
what.
us now.
I just
Tell us
think
now about
that-
what the Titans are going to do this week.
I don't think it's pretty for the Ravens, personally.
Here's the thing: is that
And there it is.
look, it's so hard for me to trust this team. Like,
What was the numbers versus the Ravens? You gave us our numbers. What was Henry's
they
number?
were great. They're great versus the Ravens, but it's again. These third and longs that keep getting converted. It's like like people want to say it's a secondary, and I get that you want to say that, but it is a lack of pass rush because our guys are covering for enough time. But when you're not pressuring the quarterback at all, your receivers are going to get open, and that's been the problem. This is why I've missed Jarrell Casey all year. I'm so mad. It's terrible. It's terrible. But again, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I'm just beating this drum over and over again. You've heard me say it over and over again. What else you want me to say? This defense is so bad. It sucks that we had such a great offensive year that I feel like we shouldn't even have won 11 games.
So, John Ha, are you saying that proving my point since the beginning of the season when I made the meme that says the 2020 Titans are just the 2017 Jags, are you proving my point, but opposite?
I think
Great offense, bad defense. Yeah.
Fluke season. And will you once again...
I don't necessarily think it's a fluke season with how good our offense is.
Derrick Henry's carrying your offense, though.
I want to... Okay. Yes, he is. But everybody else is stepping up too. Everybody's doing what they're doing. Like Derrick Henry is he's the focal point of our offense. Of course he is, but everybody else is performing their positions perfectly. Everybody's doing what they're being asked to do on offense. You can't criticize this offense. Everything needs to be turned to that defense. That's why I get so tired of hearing people like shit talk Ryan Tannehill or just like they're doing what they're supposed to do.
It's the defense.
What's really crazy, and I actually didn't realize this, but then when I saw it, it made a lot of sense. Aren't the Titans like the team with either the least or the second least turnovers in the league?
Yeah, we don't turn over the ball very much. It's
hard to beat a team. Yeah. It's hard to stop an offense that doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, no, you're never going to hear me complain about the way this offense is run. That's why I'm so bummed that Arthur Smith is in head coaching contention because I don't want him going anywhere. Keep this guy around.
That's the second question. Yeah. When Arthur Smith leaves, does it change?
I don't know. That's why I don't want to find out.
when Dean Peace left, this looked like a great defense.
I don't want to find out. Everybody, that's why talk about Urban Meyer, talk about Eric Bieniemy, talk about all these people. Forget about Arthur Smith. That's first of all, I would love to win a championship, but let's get further in the playoffs so people forget about Arthur Smith and go hire other people.
Breaking news, Arthur Smith just signed with the Chargers.
Right?
He's leaving today. He's not even staying for the playoffs.
All right. So then in that case, only because in the interest of time, I know this has been amazing, and Sam decided that she was going to turn this into a PBS.
Hold on.
51%.
30 minutes on the Jags.
That's right. We did
Listen,
a Derrick
Henry
AFC South tear on the Jaguars.
I didn't even hear what John said about what they're going to win.
We didn't even spend it on the Jaguars.
I had to have predictions. We need to get predictions.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying now. Before Sam,
and that doesn't count as the Jaguars. That was Sam's rant. I have to sit here and listen to you all talk as the host. And I have to listen to you all talk.
Well, that's kind of your job.
Well, guess what? 61%
I
wanted my 5 minutes to bore you all into all hell, so you had to hear it.
Well, you know what, Sam? I'm going to hit you with the ultimate cliffhanger. Trevor Lawrence might be going back to college. Either that or he may go cross-country hitchhiking. Okay? I don't care how you say that. But either way,
Field's
John,
still there.
Back
Don't
to
matter.
You before I was rudely interrupted. John,
talk to me.
Now the thing is this week, because you've played the Ravens last year, you played the Ravens this year. So, I mean, you have an idea of what it is. Is there any likelihood that they can catch you off guard with anything that you haven't already seen from them, being that this is your third time playing them within the last year?
Yes, because the first two times that they played, they didn't commit to a run game. Baltimore did not go run heavy. I mean, they tried for a second, but then they abandoned it pretty quickly, both times. And they have been running the ball incredibly effective these last few weeks. I was hearing it and all that. I mean, they ran 400 yards collectively against Cincinnati last week. That's insane. They've been running the ball very effectively. So we have to, I think Mike Vrabel is going to try to focus on stopping the run. I think, and I don't think that's going to be anything different than what we game planned the first few times we played them. And I think I think John Harbaugh is probably going to maybe try to commit to the run a little bit more and not give up on it as easily as he did in the divisional round. And I think we have to really perform. Our defensive front has to really, really, really perform and just make Lamar throw while in the pocket. Don't let him scramble because he's far more deadly when he scrambles, but just keep him in the pocket. Let him do that. Let's just play let the Ravens O-line do a Jacksonville O-line impression and just do contain, and then we'll have a better shot.
It seems like that's going to be a matchup of teams that need to score first.
Yeah,
it could be. Even
or
then,
have the ball last.
Yeah, even then, it's really more like we just need to
both
stay.
Struggle coming behind.
Yeah, we need to stay within like a score. Like that way we can continue to run the offense that we like to run, and
I agree.
We can maybe get a stop there. But again, like even then, like that's the other reason too, because in the Houston game, I think how many punts did Houston have? They had on the first drive and then no punts the rest of the game except for the pick.
3.
I mean, you had a pick.
First 3.
Right.
The first 3. Well, yeah, the second drive was a pick, but the first possession was a
and then 8 straight. But like 8 straight.
Yeah, you have to get a defensive stop in there.
From Cook.
So
well, yeah, because I think the best way to you guys to get the Super Bowl is never play the Chiefs. Because the Colts,
which is going to be hard to do.
The Browns and the Colts, they play the same type of game that you guys do.
Yeah, we want
play
the
action, throw the ball. I think that's the best road to the Super Bowl for you guys.
Yeah. So then, John, in that case, then what is your prediction for this game specifically coming up?
I think the Ravens get the better of us this time.
John, you suck, man. I hate you so much. Jesus Christ, man. God, you suck.
What? Wait, why? Why are you mad at me?
There's just certain times where you just have to be like, look,
fuck it,
we're just a bad matchup for the Ravens. We're just a bad matchup for them. They can't beat us. It doesn't matter how good they play, who they have, what game plan they have. They just can't beat it.
Have some confidence, John.
Yeah. I honestly think
I watched my defense. How can I have confidence in this?
But that's the thing. It doesn't matter. I think that when it comes to the Ravens and Titans, I just really think that's all it is.
You're
just a bad matchup for them.
I'd love for you guys to be right.
So you guys are saying you want John to go off brand?
Well, yes. I'm also trying to spare my heart the heartache. Like it's like if I expect to lose, it's like okay, it's what happened. But if we win, it's all great. It's all joy.
I want you to bring your inner flame out, and I want you to say you're going to win by 30.
Oh my God!
No way.
Well, I mean, Flame says that when he's talking about the Packers.
Like, let me give you what I honestly think is going to happen. Look, the Ravens ran for 400 yards last week. Derrick Henry's himself is gonna run for one more yard than the Ravens did last week. He's gonna run for 415.
I got it.
There you go. Y'all gonna dominate time of possession.
400 yards, 7 touchdowns. Let's go.
It's a home game. It's a home game too.
All right. So then you think Ravens win? Here's what. So he said Ravens win.
I do think the Ravens are going to win. And okay, let me give you the main reason why. Reason why. Here's the reason why I know the Ravens are going to win. Because Michael Tesmer is convinced the Titans are going to win. So that's how I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Justin, we need to make a lot of room for these Colts and these Titans fans on the sofa next to us.
Yeah.
They're both one and done. They've convinced me tonight. One and done, man. Come on, baby.
Hey, we're coming to join the Dolphins.
Come join us. Come join us right on the side.
Nick Casero, we got you.
So then here's a question I pose to everybody now.
Yeah.
We've already gotten past the fact that Harish believes 35-31, the Bills win.
Yep.
All right, and then we've established that the Ravens and the Titans the Ravens and Derrick Henry will collectively run for over 800 yards in the game. Yep. So apparently both defenses will have COVID that day.
Yes.
So then what is the belief for who is going to end up being ultimately the Super Bowl? AFC champ and NFC champ.
Harish knows my answer.
Before
So
you-
do you. You guys
before
both
you
know
do
my
that-
answer.
Before you do
It's
that,
pretty simple.
Justin, what are your predictions for the weekend for the AFC South?
Oh,
I want to
yes,
know
yes,
what
yes.
you guys think.
What? How far are you going in the playoffs?
No. Who's winning this weekend? I think we're losing this weekend. So we're
Tell
not
him the
going to
truth, Justin. Tell him the truth, bro.
I think with looking at the roadmap that I have here,
No. Just this weekend. I don't care.
Is it
about
under?
today.
Is it under construction?
today.
Is that why you got a construction worker there? That road?
Yeah,
Pull it out the
I
Pull out the
think the
blueprint.
Titans pull it off. I think the Colts lose.
Okay.
It's a bad draw. It's a bad matchup.
I think
I don't think it's a
that,
bad matchup. I just don't trust our team.
I just think that
I agree
Josh
with you.
Allen is going to outplay Philip Rivers.
Big time.
That's what I think, and I think with the other side with the Titans, I think that the Ravens are going to pigeonhole themselves in the same play calling they've been doing all year. That's why they haven't taken off as like they did last year. And I think with the run game behind Derrick Henry, it's going to be hard to stop. So
Well, it's nice to know that you guys believe in my team. I mean, you guys
Well,
must not
way
be
more
I
watching
believe
them
in
like I
Derrick
do.
Henry. I don't believe in
You
everybody
guys
else.
must not be watching like I have.
Look, I
That's a
watched
pretty good
every
team,
Titans
man.
game.
Hey,
Your
I just want to say
defense-
though, I do want to say that like I know I'm Debbie Downer, I'm Mr. Negative, but this is a very, very, very special season. Derrick Henry hand. It's a history making season, and that is incredible feat. It's a huge accomplishment. This guy he's made a Hall of Fame case for himself, like just in these last like 3 or 2.5 seasons.
Whoa.
The guy has
did
done
good.
stuff that no
Yes.
running back has done. He has a 99-yard touchdown run. He's
Mm.
got he has more 200-yard running games than Jonathan Taylor, believe it or not, Harish. He's got more.
Oh,
He's a
whoa, what the
rookie.
hell was
I
that?
know.
Right.
I'm just saying.
The
been
Colts
15
years.
games he's
I'm just
played
saying,
in.
Colts fans talked nothing about like, whatever, Derrick Henry. And then as soon as you get a 200-yard rushing game, it's like, it's the greatest thing we've ever seen. I'm like, that's old news. We see it all the time. Get out of here.
I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but the only thing that I've ever said about Derrick Henry, because I know that he's great, but the thing is, it's the usage. The usage is what I've always got.
He's
That's
going to
what
get
I
burned.
always-
He's going to. But I'm saying he has done things that no running back has done. This 2020 season has been a phenomenal season. It's for the history books. It's great. I've enjoyed every minute of watching Derrick Henry, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's been a
Don, I think the one thing you need to touch
season.
on is the fact that his yards after contact, he has more yards than other running backs in the league.
Yeah, he leads in so much. The only thing he doesn't do as a running back is pass catching. Like that's really it. That's the only.
But you don't
He
have.
doesn't have any.
He doesn't have to, and it was because of the way
opportunity
defenses
to.
play him. And that's the thing that's been so great is that even when they're stacking the box, he'll still get past those 8 or 9 people, and then all he's got is these safeties in the backfield, and that's when he doesn't look as fast on screen as he is in real life because these safeties can't catch him, and they're running like 4.4s, and he's outrunning them.
I think a lot of people are overlooking he's got a great complementary piece with AJ Brown too.
He does, and then he's done it all with an offensive line, which has kind of been like rotating around all year too. A lot of people said with Taylor Lewan going out for the year, this could be a problem. This hasn't been the case. He's been making the plays even when people are going out.
AJ Brown is big time.
When we lost Quisenberry against Houston, Tannehill's the one who struggled. It wasn't Derrick Henry. He was still going. The only hiccup was his fumble. Yeah. And what I loved hearing is that he brought up how mad he was that he had the fumble. He had 2,000 rushing yards, and he brought up how mad he was that he had a fumble.
Oh, speaking of that fumble, the guy that caused it was Cunningham. And even though the Texans had a sorry year, Cunningham was first in tackles in the NFL.
Good for him.
And just a little nugget for our.
Well, we just had a comment. We just had a comment from the group that said, cracking up at Sam coming back up. Like, they're still talking?
Yes.
Congrats to Cunningham. He's still not better than Darius.
I want to give a congrats to Devonta Smith.
Tried 4 years in a row.
For winning the Heisman.
2 years in a row.
He deserves it.
Yep. And now he is going to go to the team.
That does worry me about Trevor not getting it and maybe wanting to take another
He's going
shot.
to the Bengals.
Listen, he is
Watson
going to
Smith?
go to the team directly after the Eagles since they don't like picking the obvious pick. So whoever's picking after the Eagles, congratulations.
Come
You
on,
are
Chris
now
Ballard,
player
trade
for
up,
that team.
baby.
Oh man, the Eagles shouldn't have thrown the game. Then they'd have a shot at him.
They
And
still do, and they're still
Matthew
going to miss
Briggs
it.
says Matthew Briggs says Cardinals 2021.
His
He was
second
screaming
team
Cardinals.
lost too.
Listen, he just needs to pull a Mitch Perkins and just tattoo it on his arm.
He should.
Right.
Make it real.
Can we admit
So-
though that now that what's his name Murray is not better than Deshaun Watson?
Whoever said he was?
There was a lot of people saying that he was
Murray.
better than Deshaun.
I feel like y'all
Kyler
made
Murray.
some of this
Oh,
stuff
Kyler
up.
Murray?
Kyler
I feel
Murray.
like y'all made some of this stuff up.
No, I read a
Twitter,
lot
bro.
of it.
Hop
I mean,
on Twitter.
There's
I read a lot
like-
of it.
Maybe on Twitter, but in our group, who in our group?
Well,
has said
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Kyler Murray
saying
is better?
Tannehill
It
is
had
an
to have
elite.
been Matt. He's the only
It's
one
like-
watching the Cardinals.
Chris, it's like saying Tannehill is an elite quarterback.
Right.
Of course, Kyler Murray looks good. He has Hopkins.
Deshaun.
Just
Right,
like
Well, he has Hopkins, he has Larry Fitzgerald, he has numerous offensive pieces.
Weapons.
I mean, they actually have a
Larry
decent running
Fitzgerald,
game.
He hasn't had like the Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, but you still have to game plan for him, no matter what. I mean,
Not
it's just like
really.
he could still he can still very much so. He has more tackles than he does drops in his whole entire career. You
Right.
have to
we-
game plan
can
for
we-
him.
No,
Can
I'm
we
not talking
celebrate-
about. Yeah, he's
Can we celebrate Deshaun Watson for a minute?
Yeah,
He was-
passing
he was
champion with
First in
with
passing,
fucking Joe.
second
That's
in
gonna-
completions.
Hey, listen, that's
percentage.
gonna be
That's
gonna be
pretty
even
impressive.
better when he gets traded for a second round pick to make cap room.
To the Dolphins.
To us. See,
To the
Chris is
Dolphins.
prepared. No wonder he's rooting for the Dolphins. He's preparing himself for his new team.
he's
They
been
got
he's
all
waiting
our
for Tua,
picks.
baby.
They got all our
Two time.
picks.
well,
They
guys.
got all our
picks.
picks. We're gonna be back next year, you guys. Don't count us out, bro. Don't count
Gonna
us
be
I heard
back
that
in the
4
draft.
weeks ago, too.
You know
We'll be
everybody's
back.
coming back next year.
We'll be
They're
back.
bringing all 32 teams back next year. So
Bill
I mean,
O'Brien
yeah.
sabotaged us this
Real
year.
quick.
We're out of it.
Real quick
If
before
you think
we-
Bill O'Brien sabotaged you, wait till you see what
Yeah.
Nick Casario does.
Right.
Boom.
At least he's not
Go
a
ahead,
head
go
coach.
ahead.
Could
Go ahead,
anybody
Harish.
implode a team more than Bill
I
O'Brien?
was just gonna say before we head out, everybody's Super Bowl predictions.
Anybody what? Huh?
Super Bowl predictions for everyone. Who you
Oh
guys
yeah,
got?
you guys know who you guys all know who I think is winning the Super Bowl.
The
Justin,
Montreal
go for it.
Alouettes.
Justin.
Packers, Chiefs.
Ooh,
John.
John.
I've said the Chiefs, and it doesn't matter who they're playing. The NFC is a little bit tougher to predict. Makes me. I'll say Green Bay just to be boring, but
Chris Royal.
Chris.
Chiefs, and I think I want to go with New Orleans sneaks in.
Sure.
Come on, man. Why?
I think New Orleans sneaks in.
Who do you think? Chris Jackson.
You know what? I'm gonna go Chiefs Packers, and I see the Packers pulling it off.
I'm gonna go Bills, Packers, and I'm gonna have
Yes, that's a good one.
Aaron Rodgers lift his second trophy. I think it's gonna come down to Chiefs, Bills, and then Packers.
the
Saints.
Bills fans deserve a Super Bowl. That's for sure.
In a perfect
I think
world,
I do-
In a perfect world, I would love for it to be Browns Bills.
And that'd be a weird Super Bowl.
That would be.
That's a
And
very
then-
weird
no,
Super
no, no.
Bowl.
Listen,
AFC title game. Yeah, that'd
yes,
be really interesting.
I would love for it to be the Browns and the Bills, and then ultimately the Bills would win and play the Packers, and the Bills win the Super Bowl. I would love that for the
that
Bills
would be
fans.
an epic.
I would
season.
love that for the Browns fans, and I would love that for the Bills fans, just to get that
I think
far.
it'd be great. Yeah, I just think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission.
Yeah, he's angry.
I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, and I also really like Josh Allen. I was a huge fan of Josh Allen when he came out of the draft. I thought he was the best QB in that draft, and obviously it's true. I think that's going to be a fun Super Bowl. Bills Packers.
I'm just happy it's not
Good
the
choices.
Patriots. Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah, hang
God.
on. You could still get Tom Brady.
The
so let's
dynasty
not-
has fallen. The dynasty
The
has
Washington
fallen.
football
Hey,
team is
do
going
you know who beat the Tom Brady Patriots? Do you remember who beat them?
Nope.
Nobody.
You know who finally beat the Tom Brady Patriots in the playoffs? I
All
remember.
right.
that.
We're going to do a closing, right, Sam? You gotta
I
close
am.
or something, right?
Well, guys, we're going to take a week off. We're going to resume after this playoff week. We're going to resume in 2 weeks, do the catch up on the playoff game, and then after that, do the Super Bowl episode. That's going to wrap up season 2. That's going to be it. Season 2.
Good job. Good job.
Season 1 was rough. Season 2 got better. Season 3, we have way more things coming. Super excited about. But what's up, Chris?
Excited for the off season.
I want to make a suggestion. Can we do just a best of trolls episode from every
100%.
fan base?
During the off season, we're going to do the Troll Super Bowl.
The Troll Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm. You know what? Here, I am just going to put it as this now. Tessmer for the Colts, Fuentes for the Texans. Let's go.
Don't you mean Fuentes for the Titans?
And Texans.
Okay.
And Texans.
I want Matthew Hall for the Jags.
Matthew Hall.
And then
that's good.
I think for the Titans, I almost want to say that we could be, or we can go Sam.
Oh, Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson, he is batshit crazy as far as I'm concerned.
That dude's good. He pisses me off
Listen, we could do an all troll episode and just let them troll on each other.
Yeah, the Troll Super Bowl. I'm so down.
That was for the Colts. Who did you say for the Colts?
Michael Tessmer.
Mike Tessmer.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant the Rams.
I mean, he's like a winner.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the Rams because you know who's sneaking up on Tessmer is our boy Josh Senior.
Nah, I mean, I taught him a lot. I taught him a lot. You know, they're like my 1B. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all kind of tag team a little bit.
I don't know. Nobody pisses off the Titans fans more than me.
That's true.
Your own troll. I like your commentary though, John.
I like when John starts talking and all his fan club shows up. Like, oh God, here we go.
here comes the hater.
Here comes the negative Titans fan. But yet none. Where are they?
How do you think I got this gig?
He was like, I hate the Titans. I'm like, you're on next week.
And then we need to have the I hate my fans episode.
Oh, I'm the winner of that one. I hate my fans.
It could be me. It could be me for the Colts. It could be Matt Briggs
for the Texans.
Matt Briggs.
Yeah. John for the Titans. Who hates Jags?
Mike Tessmer for the Rams.
Oh, your boy. Who's your guy? Your boy, Sam. What's his name?
What?
What's that guy? That guy comes on.
Oh, the short.
Todd.
Todd.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah.
Todd hates Jags fans. Yeah.
Perfect. We're building content as we sit.
Building content as we do content. Well, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm really sad. This is the last regular season episode, but we couldn't have had a better lineup. You guys are the best. I love it.
I know.
I like how confident.
AFC South Champs 2020, baby. 2021.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sam Darnold, let's go, baby.
Oh, come on, man.